AC Milan. It is an homage to their Albanian roots, formed by an Albanian community in North Macedonia, in the town of Tetovo, which is about an hour from Skopje, where this game is taking place. And it is the home side who get us underway. Hibs, well, 90 plus potentially minutes away from a place in the playoff round. We saw them go to extra time 3 times in Europe last season. They'll hope to avoid that this time around. But Scott Allen, it's going to be a big test for them.
It really is, but I think they'll take enormous confidence from the fact they went to Ibrox at the weekend, defended their box really well out of possession. It really frustrated Rangers at times. All the things all the aspects of the game that you would think at times tonight you'll need to see from this Hibs side. And on the face of that, countering at real pace in the last minute of the game. Players who have been rested, your Eldon's coming back into the squad, who for me is going to be a standout this season for Hibs. Big night for him. Can he be the go-to talisman for Hibs? So both facets of Hibs game, they look like they're going to score at times because they have that threat. And most importantly, especially in a away tie in Europe, you're going to have to defend your box really well, and they've certainly done that at the weekend.
Hibs gave away the free kick there right down in Shkendija's corner area, just looking to hem them in, but over eager. I think it might have been Elding who bundled over the defender Milnici, and Shkendija will play it short to the goalkeeper Ramani, and they are looking to build up from the back. Hibernian with a massive incentive to try and get into the league phase and all the riches and prestige that comes with it, but it is Shkendija taking it forward into midfield round the corner from Zenulai, and then up the right hand side to Tamba, who was involved in the equaliser at Easter Road. The boost for Hibs is that Marko Djurjevski, the striker who came off the bench in Leith and scored the equaliser, is not fit for the Shkendija squad tonight. He also scored the winner late on against NK Bravo of Slovenia in the last round. And he's been eased back in this season in terms of starting berth because of injury, now not able to play as Hibs win it deep in Shkendija half. Elding gives it to Wright, and now it's past Lack. Right hand side goes back to Warren O'Hora, the match winner a week ago, into Mulligan, back to O'Hora. O'Hora slides a wonderful pass down the side of the box, and unfortunately for Hibs, it's a slip from Callum Wright when he would have been down the side of the box.
It was the pitch that Brian spoke about ahead of the game, didn't he? He said it on top, it was looking a bit slippery. It's a great opportunity. Warren O'Hora does really well just to stay in the ball, plays a bounce pass, and then just plays a simple pass into space for Wright down the side, and he loses his footing. But I was just looking at Hibs and how they're setting up from Shkendija when they're playing out. If they can lock them down the side of the pitch, what they've done just a moment ago, again they're trying that and frustrate them when they're trying to switch the play. There's a real chance to win the ball back and get on the counter-attack.
Yeah, that was unfortunate for Wright, who is only on his first start and his third appearance for Hibs. He's already made quite the impression. Even in the first leg when he came on, he was really good down the side of the box and set up Elding for the opening goal on the night. Looks like he's got something about him. Attacking the final third, it goes up to Nzengi, number 9 for Shkendija, and they come down the right hand side through Tamba, and then the right back Trumci. It's inside one and then across the edge of the box, so the interception's missed, and the low strike is dragged just wide by Krieziu. It was rather harmless for Salinger in the end, but Hibs will be slightly concerned at the ease at which Shkendija got up to the edge of their box.
Yeah, and it was on the transition moments, a fantastic pick out there. It just obviously goes by the post, but just a warning sign for Hibs. And it was just the one time they didn't get the press right. Shkendija worked it from one side into the centre of the pitch, out the other side, and it was with fair ease, if I'm being honest, and that's just a warning sign for Hibs very early on in this game.
Still Shkendija 0, Hibs 0 after 4 minutes in North Macedonia. Shkendija finishing as runners-up in their domestic league last season, 9 points behind Vardar, who are the records champions of North Macedonia. Shkendija have come to prominence in the last 2 decades, winning all 5 of their titles in that time. Oh, it's a poor pass out by the goalkeeper, and it is won here by Hibs. And can Mulligan get that cross in? And it's actually Adam Mayer on the far side, and I'm not sure he managed to win the throw-in, but Hibs capitalising on a slack kick out there.
Slack kick out, but great aggression there from Adam Mayer. Went full tilt, intercepted the ball and manages to get Hibs up the pitch.
He did get that throw in, so it comes to Mulligan, and now it's Paslak on the right hand side. Mulligan faces back the way, and then O'Hora has to get the pass away quickly, but he's found the feet of Eldon really nicely, but he was under pressure, and now Shkendija will try and break forward, fired in behind the Hibs defensive line, but it will run harmlessly through to Salinger. There's De Freitas, the Brazilian, who slid that pass in behind, but to no avail in the end. Paslak screaming for it over on this near side, and the switch of play comes, but it doesn't quite fall for him, and it bounces and goes out for a throw-in. But it was the right idea.
It was the right idea. It's actually one of these switches where I don't think you should miss it. I don't think it's that difficult. You've just got to pick out your man. Paslak was away. That's one thing he does give you. Always gives you that option going forward. You've seen the difference when he came on at the weekend. He's really aggressive with him without the ball. As you see him there, win it back for Hibs. Tries to force one centrally.
Yeah, absolutely. He's a terrific player. It's his signing in the winter that has now precipitated the departure of Chris Cadden to Aberdeen, because Paslak was and is Hibernian's undisputed first choice right back or right wing back, and here he is again on the run, and that's good defending in the end from Demoski, the left back, to just get in. Or it's Kreziu, the winger, tracking back, plays it out for a throw in.
Well, the one thing as a winger, you don't want to be doing that in the full game, especially when it's your home game. You have to get a goal to get back in the tie. It's good from Hibs, just that switch of play and one pass. And like I said, when you have the attributes that Paslak possesses, it always gives you that option.
Hibs attacking the right hand side again, but Shkendija get in, and
they're playing in Shkendija's half, and that's exactly how you want to start these sort of European games.
It's thrown into the box by Hibs, brought down by Demoski, and he plays it into Nzengi, who pops off to his midfielder, played forward, but it's intercepted, given away by Hibs to Rafael De Freitas, and now Shkendija can break over the halfway line. It's Trumci, slides it forward. Here's Tamba, the winger, in the box, cuts it to the edge of the 6-yard box, and Jason Kerr has to turn it behind for a corner. 0-0.
Just a little bit careless there from O'Hora. Again, we spoke about the pass previously. It's just a simple 5-yard pass inside to your teammate. You've got to focus with A1s. All the little details matter, especially when there's so much at stake. Because of that bit of slackness, it ends now results in a corner they have to defend.
Yeah, corner from the far side. Kreziu, the winger, is going to cross to take it. There's a short option offered. Yeah, the guys mentioned it pre-match in our build-up on Sports Sound. Hibs need to be right on it in terms of taking care of the ball. Didn't do so on that occasion. Been countered on, and now defending a corner here. Kreziu goes short, and he lingers on the byline and gets the return pass. It's prodded in, headed away by Chaiwa, and the flag goes up anyway for offside, free kick.
Yeah, I had my hand up there. I think you could quite see that he had just strayed offside. But a good line from Hibs as soon as that pass goes. I think it's Chaiwa. I don't think it's deliberate actually, but he just manages to gain a couple of yards.
Yeah, it was I have to admit, a strange return ball from Shkendija as they tried to work the space, but offside. Salinger will take this free kick just to the left edge of his box. 8.5 on the clock in North Macedonia. Shkendija 0, Hibs 0, 2-1 to Hibs on aggregate. As Shkendija put it up in the air, Chaiwa jostling for it as he always is, gets his head on it, and then
Enright went over on his feet there, lost his footing again.
Well, Hibs fans will be having a bit of nightmares about Malasheva, because that is what happened over in Kosovo. As now it's played in behind Hibs defence. Tamba's got pace. Tamba will get there. Flag stays down for now. He's on the byline, cuts it back to Kreziu. Thinks about the shot, but he's pulled wide of the goal. And he pauses on the right hand side of the box and then plays a rather harmless ball through to Salinger. 0-0 it remains. Not sure if the offside flag belatedly went up there, but it doesn't look like it.
No, but again, it just shows you it's like when Hibs allow that space for the ball to switch play. You've got willing runners down the sides of you. You then have to get back in numbers and defend that central area of the box, which, in fairness, Hibs over the last couple of seasons, when they've had to, they can do that really well. That's what I was saying, is you've seen Wright again lose his footing there when Nathan Lowe had the knock on. Callum Wright would have been onto it.
Yeah, well, I was just saying, I was over in Kosovo for that game against Malasheva, and the pitch was a problem. David Gray said in his pre-match to Brian about the fact that it was they were mentioning it was kind of dry, but plenty of greenery, but maybe a bit soft under the greenery, and it's kind of caused issues in Kosovo. Chaiwa in particular was sliding all over the place, and he wasn't the only one, so we'll hope that Callum Wright can find his footing literally on the pitch in Skopje. The North Macedonian capital, Miguel Chaiwa, took a blow to the face before that counter as he headed the ball forward, so he was getting some treatment there. He's had to walk off the pitch. He'll be okay, I think, and reintroduced. And Hibs will be down to 10 players for the next minute, as per the new rules. If a player requires treatment, they...
Depending if the ball goes out?
Yes.
Yeah.
But they are trying to clamp down on the time wasting, players feigning injury. And eating up the clock when it suits them, as it's clipped forward by Ahora down the side of the box, headed down by Shkendija, picked up by Islami, forward to Freitas, and then he plays it down the left hand side for Nzengi, the striker. He leaves it to Freitas. Not much pressure on the ball here from Hibs as it's switched out to the right hand side, and Trumci, the right back, he goes in the outside of Adam Mayer too easily, but then Mayer recovers well, gets a foot in, and he's claiming it was a goal kick, but the far side linesman has awarded a corner. Shkendija 0, Hibs 0.
I just wonder if it did take a nick there. A corner to defend. Yeah, I think in the moments, if you've got to take the heat into account, I think once they work it, you're looking to, can a Hibs midfielder get up and press the ball? I do think it's sometimes there's still a solid base behind the ball. As long as they don't let them through them, which Hibs will be wary about, they'll be comfortable defending their box if there's any crosses coming in.
They've got good height in there. Nathan Lowe is back. Hibs number 9, towering figure. Corner short again from Shkendija. Can they work this one better? No, it's well defended on the far side by Hibs. Ball now comes in and spins off the heads of Hibs defender, and it will break to Nathan Lowe, who's running up the right hand side. Sliding challenge goes in, and Lowe didn't keep it in, but it will be Hibs throw anyway.
You've seen Shkendija there twice. They've opted for the short corner. I think that tells you when they've looked at Hibs, they know they've got that height advantage in there, and trying to probe and create a chance from a different angle. But Hibs will be happy with that, defended to them really well.
Throw into Hibs, 10 yards over the halfway line on the right hand side. Ahora takes it, dealt with initially, but it drops for Paslak. He takes a nudge, and does he keep that in? No, he doesn't. Flag goes up, or no, it doesn't, as Lowe takes the shot, and I thought it did. It did. The referee just didn't get the initial message from the linesman, I think, and it will go behind for a goal kick. Shkendija 0, Hibs 0, 2-1 to Hibs on aggregate.
Just seen that Paslak one there. Very tight.
I don't know if the whole ball's out there, but the linesman's closer than us, that's for sure.
Let's not get into the A1s. We've seen how they won different angles.
Yeah, the Hibs Celtic game last year, rather infamously, as the Freitas turns, gives it to Dengi, and Shkendija popping it about on the halfway line. They find Zengi, the striker, but it's well won by Chaiwa, and then Kerr goes back to his goalkeeper, Salinger, and Salinger just a punt up the pitch, and it goes towards Lowe. He loses out, and Shkendija have the ball back between the centre halves. It's Manev across to the left back, Brian Demoski. He continues his run, picks it up again on the left hand side. Good recovery from Owen Elding. It's a throw into the home side. Shkendija 0, Hibs 0, 14 minutes live on Sports Channel, BBC Radio Scotland, Extra Digital, online. And Hibs with the 1 goal advantage in the tie. It's a poor touch edge of the box, and allows the ball to go to Hibs defender, who slipped as he cleared it. And let's hope the slips become fewer and fewer as this game goes on. Throw in by Shkendija, down to Krieziu. It's well won by Hibs, breaks for Chaiwa, and Chaiwa will try the switch out wide, and Paslak is surging forward, puts the defender under pressure and wins a throw in. So quick off the mark Felix Paslak, the defender Dymowski, is rolling about as if he was caught. Not sure if he was or not. Get a look here, Scott.
He does catch on him. Paslak does tread on his toe. I think, listen, he's making a meal of it. I just think there Chaiwa is looking for the space. I think he can actually find Paslak to feet and allow him that 1v1. He says he's a willing runner, he travels with the ball really well, Paslak.
Hibs have it. There's Paslak on the right hand side, a bit isolated, but keeps the ball, goes back to Ahora. Ahora just hits a low cross in from very deep. It's blocked and unfortunately breaks from Mulligan. It's scooped into the box by Paslak, but it wasn't really aimed at anyone, and it trundles behind, and it's just
that's got to be miles better than what we've just seen there. And it starts with Ahora. He's in an area at the pitch, there's no pressure on the ball. There's a man, I'm going to say 6-7 yards away from him. He just has to stay in the ball, try and entice him out and then play the ball into your midfield. I think Mulligan just shows a wee half yard inside and he can get it and then face up the Shkendija defence. But that from Ahora, there's no hurry to play the ball there. Hibs had worked the ball to a really good position. They managed to get the ball back.
Shkendija win it over on the far side, deep in their own half. Pressure comes in from Mayer, and it goes up the line, and Obita had his body right on to Fabrice Tamba, and the throw in is towards Lowe and back out to the left hand side, and Adam Mayer trying to get a cross in, and he's earned a corner. Better from Hibs, still 0-0.
Yep, and we know Hibs carry that threat from set pieces, so they'll be, you would imagine David Green, his coaching staff, have looked at these situations an area where they can really go and hurt Shkendija. They do have height, they do have guys who want to get on the end of things, as long as the delivery's on the money.
It's Paslak who's going to cross to the far side to prepare the in-swinger with the right foot. 17 minutes played, it is goalless. Hibs with a 1-goal advantage in the tie. Paslak waits and waits for the referee to make sure everything's okay in the middle of the box. A goal would be huge for Hibs, and it comes from Paslak, and the header bounces round the back post, and it was Wright, I think, who made the run, and he got something on it, but it skews well wide. Decent chance.
It was a good ball in from Paslak, and Wright's just half a yard away from getting something on it. Again, a sign that Hibs, the set pieces could prove vital tonight in both boxes.
Yeah, I mentioned, it's a free kick given to Shkendija. Wright penalised just over halfway as he looked to pinch it and launch a counter-attack. Yeah, and Shkendija, in many ways, that put in the type of European campaign last season that clubs like Hibs should be putting in. Like Aberdeen, like Hearts, they should be aiming to get into the Conference League and compete in that league phase. As Shkendija come forward, and Nzengi tried to get onto it, but Kerr had his number and it slides through to Salinger.
Yeah, excellent play there from Kerr. He smelled the danger and just manages to get his body in front, and it runs through to Salinger. I think David Gray will be happy with how his team's defended so far.
And obviously the problem, and a bit of a delay there on the ball from Kerr, getting rid of it, and now Tamba comes down the right hand side of the box, and Shkendija pinch it, and it was a poor ball into Salinger at the near post, but that was slack from Jason Kerr.
It really was, and that's the things that can really frustrate a manager. He had no awareness about him when he received the ball, and he just gets rid of it. But what I would say is, again, and I spoke about it on Sunday, Hibs defend their box really well. They've got a lot of numbers, so when you're the opposition team and you're trying to pick somebody out, it's very hard to. All you see is green shirts, and Salinger collects again.
Yeah, what you would say is, I don't think David Gray will be too happy with the amount of balls that have gone into Hibs' box, but he'll be delighted with A, how his side have dealt with it, and B, the quality that Shkendija have put in thus far. Has not come to anything. That's nice played on the right hand side as Ahora tries to get on the return pass. He keeps it in, but he had to use the defender to do so. He could only just hook it round him. And
I take your point, Thomas, but I think when you're Hibs, especially in an away game in Europe, most importantly, you don't want to be played through the heart of your midfield, where guys start running behind and people are getting dragged all over the place. I think Hibs will be comfortable allowing the ball to go wide and knowing that if it's coming in, there's a chance here.
Chance here for Eldon. He kind of snatched at it. It's blocked. Well worked though from the throw-in. And nearly on 20 minutes, Shkendija 0, Hibernian 0, 2-1 to Hibs on aggregate. So far so good for David Gray's side as they look to get into the playoff rounds. And they will play either Ghent or IFK Gothenburg. Ghent of Belgium, Gothenburg of Sweden. It is 1-0 to Ghent on aggregate ahead of their home game tonight. Kicks off at 7:30. We'll keep you posted on that one once it kicks off, as well as games involving Rangers in the Europa League up against Jagiellonia, trailing 2-1 from the first leg in Poland. They're at Ibrox tonight, 7:30 kick-off in the Europa League. Hearts, of course, playing Benfica, 6-1 down, and then Motherwell 1-0 for their home game tonight against HJK Helsinki. Hibs have earned a throw-in on this near side, 30 yards from goal, and they will look to test the back line of the North Macedonians as it goes from Ahora down the line, but Hibs don't retain possession from the throw-in. Oh, it's given away by Shkendija though, and it's past Lack, giving it towards Mulligan, and now to Freitas, and he's cleaned out accidentally, but cleaned out nonetheless by Paslak. Free kick. Paslak just not much he can do to stop himself there, but it's still a foul, isn't it, Scott?
Yeah, one you would expect to be given, especially away in Europe. Just want Hibs to be a wee bit tidier. They've worked the ball into some promising positions without any real end product at this moment in time. Just that extra bit of care. A chance to go to strikers and your creative players to go and attack something.
Playing out from the back, Shkendija here. Ramani to the centre half, Manev, and out to Trumci. Right back, he goes back to his goalkeeper. Hibs getting numbers there to force them backwards. And their run has been made forward now, but De Freitas helps to nudge it back to his centre back, who is Milici. No rush from Shkendija at the moment. I mentioned in the build-up they have a very strong home record in European football. Only lost 2 of their last 10 home matches in European competition. One of those was 1-0 to Samsunspor in that knockout playoff round last season. The other was 1-0 to Karabag in Champions League qualifying 2 seasons ago. Much better in North Macedonia than they are away from home. All their points coming at home in the Conference League phase last season. Salinger picks up as Hibs, well, they would absolutely love to get the first goal in this tie, because a 2-goal cushion would...
I think a goal does it for me. I think if Hibs get that goal, I think it does it.
It's up towards Nathan Lowe. That's getting an awful lot of him, but it breaks for Owen Eldon here. The youngster plays it back for Lowe. His magnificent touch to the edge of the box. It's Nathan Lowe, sliding challenge, blocks his effort, and it spins away towards the corner flag. And it's picked up by Manev, the centre half, and then he plays it out for a Hibs throw-in.
It's really good play. Owen Eldon in the pockets, he just lifts it over. Nathan Lowe does really well to get that second touch in front of him. He's just inside that 18-yard box. I think he's got to do better for me. He's got to get a better contact on it. Just show that wee bit of coldness. Think about where he wants to put it. He actually drags it and miskicks it, doesn't he, in the end? But there's a real chance there for Hibs.
Yeah, I think he was going to drag it well wide of the post before it took the touch of the defender, as you say, Scott. As Bita nudges it to Mulligan. Back to Jordan Abita, one of those who experienced last season's excellent European run from Hibs. It was heartbreakingly ended by Legia Warsaw as Hibs give up the ball cheaply. Now Tamba is one of the danger men. He's got pace, but Chaiwa is back to get a challenge in. Pick up the seconds though through Zenolai. Back to Tamba. Shkendija coming down the right into De Freitas, the midfielder, the Brazilian. Knocks it across and it comes out to Bojan Dymowski, and he plays it inside one to Kriesiu, the left winger, who's ducking and diving, trying to keep hold of the ball. He does well, but then Hibs get some support. Mulligan came across to snuff out his space and forces Shkendija to go all the way back to start again at halfway, but they've picked out De Freitas in midfield, and then he finds a forward pass to Tamba. Trumci, the right back, is hugging the touchline. He makes a run now, but De Freitas goes back the way. It's Manev, the right centre half, across to Melnici. And Krieziu chicks in brilliantly away from Paslak. The space is opening up for the right-footed strike, and it flies over the top of Salinger's crossbar, but a little dangerous moment there for Hibs as the winger Krieziu created that chance for himself. Still 0-0 though.
And it was really patient play there from Shkendija, and Krieziu coming in from that left-hand side, gets inside Paslak, he just can't keep up with him, he just drags his shot. But again, I think if you're resorting them to long shots and hopeful balls into the box, I think you can be David Gray will be fairly happy. What I would say, looking at the performance on the ball, it can be a lot better. There has been a lot of loose passes, and I think that's where the frustration comes with some of the Hibs fans when they talk about performance. I think it can be a lot cleaner in possession than what we're seeing at this moment. It's again a ball just give away.
Exhibit A, they give away a ball to Tamba and have won it back. Shkendija wanted a free kick. Mulligan plays it forward to Chaiwa. He takes it into the centre circle, feels the nudge, goes down, wins a valuable free kick inside the centre circle. As we hit 26 minutes, Hibs still leading 2-1 on aggregate, goalless on the night.
Yeah, 26 minutes in, it's no real chances for either side at this moment. So all the onus is on Shkendija to take the game to Hibs, and they have to get back in this tie. In Hibs, it's a case of picking your moments when you want to go really aggressive. But at the same time, just that extra bit of care, and I feel there's chances in this game for Hibs.
Kerr swipes the free kick forward. It's headed up in the air to the left-hand side of the box, headed down by Shkendija, and Trumci, the right back, he's under pressure, and it's a good closing down over on the far side by Callum Wright, and it breaks into the box for Lowe. Gets on the right foot, doesn't have a shooting angle though. He turns round, finds Wright, who lays it to the left hand side of the box. Low ball across a 6-yard box, a tremendous ball. I think it's from Adam Mayer, but no one in a green and white shirt could get onto it, and Shkendija have to hoof it behind for a corner.
Yeah, you could see Nathan Lowe when he turned in the box. He was looking to try and slip one into your midfielders to get a shot and goal. He doesn't, he checks back out, plays into Mayer, who I think wraps one right across that 6-yard box, and there was no takers from Hibs, but a real sign of life.
Yeah, that was would have been on a plate if there was a Hibs player there. It would have been tap-in time for someone. Hibs will have to accept the consolation of a corner. Paslak sends it into the 6-yard box, flicked away by Manev, and then it's Callum Wright dummies the cross, and then he slips, and that's 2 or 3 times tonight Callum Wright's lost his footing at the crucial moment, and poor touch at midfield from De Freitas, but it's broke forward for Hibs, and Zengi gives away a cheap free kick on a beat-up, which Hibs will gratefully accept right on the touchline. Remains 0-0.
I hope he's got studs on, Callum Wright, because that's again, and you can be punished for that, and I know it's not something that people think we're being serious with, but as if you're a manager, you've been on the surface, you've slipped 3 times. I'm assuming just by looking at it, he's probably getting moldies on at half time, or even before that he'll try and get them changed. But he was in an area where it was actually a promising attack. He just looked to keep the attack alive for Hibs, and instead falls on his feet, and Shkendija looked to get on the counter attack against you.
Nathan Lowe picks up the loose ball, and it's cleared by Shkendija, but it's off a Hibs player out for a throw in by Eldon. Yeah, well, I mean, Hibs did train on the pitch last night. They didn't do that when they were over in Kosovo. They trained in Edinburgh, then flew over, and then obviously they encountered quite a few problems with the pitch. Yes. Although they did inspect it, they didn't train on it. So I think they've decided to change what they're doing this time, train on the pitch, but clearly Callum Wright maybe opted for the wrong footwear at this moment in time as Hibs try and get it in the box, but it's won by Zainulai, and Shkendija will try and work it out. Krieziu plays it into De Freitas under pressure. Oh, and his switch is intercepted, and it breaks for Chaiwa, right hand side of the box, gets under control, and then Paslak, who flips the cross off the defender out for a Hibs throw-in. Yeah, they forced Shkendija in there, trying to switch that play, and it was actually a really good shape out of possession there for Hibs. They're trying to force that long one, and it's intercepted. Chaiwa does well to keep it alive, and Paslak just can't beat the first man. It's a throw into Hibs, and Ahora is going to leave it for Adam Mayer, and then Mayer flings it in towards the penalty spot, flicked on, and then it's back in by Wright, away by Manev, and it breaks for Trumci, who is going to drive forward. He's got pace, the right back. Nathan Lowe's using that rangy stride to get back goal side, and Trimchi has to find his centre back instead of a forward pass. Good recovery from Nathan Lowe. It's been a very tight game, this. Precious few opportunities. Hibs will be fine with that, given they have the 1 goal advantage, but they're giving away the free kick. Jason Kerr penalised just over halfway. And it's out to the far side from Shkendija, Trimchi, and then Tamba was looking for his right back, but he'd already made the forward run, so it runs out for a Hibs throw-in. Half an hour on the clock, and I guess Hibs will be relatively pleased, Scott Allen.
Yeah, in moments like that, well, if I play the ball out the pitch for a throw-in unopposed, it just makes Hibs grow in belief that they're frustrating them. I think you can see that in some of the passes that they're playing and trying to force to try and create an opportunity, and Hibs in a solid shape behind the ball, as you would expect at times when they have to defend, and that just adds to the frustration from the home support.
Obita will take this throw-in over on the far side in the National Stadium of North Macedonia. Throws it down the line. It's flicked on by Nathan Lowe. No, the clearance is wild from Kresniki, and
What a touch.
It's a brilliant touch from Paslak, and now finds Mulligan, who slips as he twists and turns away from his marker. He got back to his feet and finds Jason Kerr. Now Mulligan again. Mulligan into Paslak, and now O'Hora's touch is poor, and it breaks back for Hibs, and try and play it into space for.
It's really poor. That's really poor. It's got to be, but whether it's a centre half in an attacking area, just ask them to control a simple 5-yard pass. And Hibs again in a really good area. It's just that little bit of finesse round the edge of the box. I know it's not naturally, it's not the guy you want on the ball, but that, for me, it's got to be better than that. In these moments, especially in Europe, that sort of slackness just takes one counter attack and you're up against it. That's moments in games where players can affect, and it's just down to technical and concentration first and foremost.
Shkendija opting to build from the goalkeeper again, as Demoski gives it back to Milici. I mentioned that strong home record from Shkendija. Last team to beat them by more than a goal at home in Europe was Tottenham in 2021 Europa League qualifier. Lamela, Son, Kane with the goals. Jose Mourinho in the dugout. Joe Hart and Hugo Lloris in the warm-up noticed that the goals were too small. Replacement had to be called for. They were 5 centimetres the wrong size. It's scooped forward by Shkendija, headed away comfortably by Warren O'Hora. Mulligan picks up the scraps. Paslak, really good pass into midfield, and then it's played in behind for Nathan Lowe to chase. The goalkeeper is alert off his line, and he's going to try and usher this out for a goal kick, and he's managed it well. But Scott, that's a couple of times Hibs have had space to hit with the ball, and they've not managed to find the right way to pass.
But initially it was a fantastic pass from Paslak, fires it in. Owen Eldon, I'm sure it is, gets on the half turn, and then it's just execution, way to pass. You could tell from Nathan Lowe when he was chased that he kind of knew in his head he's got no chance of getting on the end of it, but he still has to do the hard yards. There is chances if they take care where they can go and create opportunities here, there's no question for me.
Yeah, it's that conviction Hibs have lacked so far, but still lead by 1 on aggregate as we hit 33 and a half minutes. But here comes Trimchi, gives it to the Freitas, goes back to Manev, to De Freitas and Tamba, the right winger. Manev to Trimchi. Hibs comfortable at the moment. Shkendija being held at arm's length, but they are showing patience in possession as they recycle it out to this left-hand side. Demoski, and then Krieziu, who's been the most likely creative spark for Shkendija, but he's really well marshalled this time. On this near side by Warren O'Hora, out for a throw-in. 11 minutes plus stoppage time to the break, and Zengi to Demoski, and Hibs claim the throw-in and get the throw-in. Another comfortable defensive set for Hibs players. David Gray fairly content, but given the instructions out to his team. Warren O'Hora captain for the night, and the winner when he scored the winning goal last week as Nathan Lowe It's the decision from Milici. It is still goalless, 2-1 to Hibs on the aggregate, and a goal, especially before half-time, would be massive for Hibs, because you feel like Shkendija, if you could get a 2-goal advantage, they're going to have to go for it. And Hibs have got Martin Boyle on the bench, they've got Jamie McGrath on the bench, got capable players on the pitch, but not really looked like scoring so far. Hibs got a free kick here, which Adam Mayer is over. He's going to send it in from very deep, round back towards the corner of the 6-yard box, but it was a floater and Nathan Lowe could do little with it, but let it hit off his head as he fell over, behind for a goal kick.
Yeah, I'm just looking at that. I think there's 2 players inside the pitch there. If Hibs just move it quick, they can get themselves into a better area to put a cross in if that's what they want to do. I think David Gray will be looking at the games thinking that they're happy with how they've looked. Without the ball at times, they look comfortable out of possession and in their shape. He strays offside, I'm sure.
Yeah, is that crazy making the run, but it goes behind for a goal kick. The offside flag has gone up, as Scott says. It is still 0-0 between Rangers and Jagiellonia. It is 0-0 between Ghent and Gothenburg, potential opponents for, will be Hibs opponents in the next round should they get there. And Motherwell 0, HJK Helsinki 0. So that's all still as it was.
We're positive tonight, aren't we, for the Scottish teams?
Yeah,
we can get 3 through.
Yeah, it would be massive. The coefficient needs it. As flicked on by Hibs, as Chaiwa heads up in the air. Mulligan then does likewise. Probably had time to bring it down there, and Kerr plays it forward first time, missed, but it drops for Nathan Lowe rather fortuitously. Now Paslak stepped onto it, and can he play an Eldon behind? It's Owen Eldon on the right foot, and the defender gets back in brilliantly. Manev to shut down the strike from Owen Eldon. It is a corner, and it was in fact Islami, the midfielder, who tracked back.
He done really well just to get a nick on it. You think Eldon's just going to flash that across the box, but again, everything good came from Paslak, whether that's with or without the ball. Again there, he's up on the play, he's really aggressive, he's onto the second ball, and he plays a lovely cute pass inside full back and left hand side centre back to Owen Eldon, but defended well.
Hibs corner, 8 minutes to the break, plus stoppages. Shkendija 0, Hibs 0, 2-1 to the Edinburgh sides. On aggregate, can they build on that lead? And the corner goes to the corner of the box, and it's a terrible pass for Callum Wright. It's sent in from deep in the header across, and goal is miles off target from Jason Kerr. But explain to me, Scott, how when you've got the time of a corner, a professional footballer doesn't find a teammate from that position.
I don't want to get into that. That's the sort of things that really frustrates me watching football. And it's just that having that real care. What seems like a really simple thing, when you just don't have that concentration that can allow for that sort of loose passes we've just seen there. And against better teams, you will be punished for that. If Hibs hopefully make it through tonight against a better side, you get punished for these sort of mistakes.
Here come Shkendija from the back, Milici and De Freitas, and Hearts incidentally kick off in 7 minutes time, although we're definitely not counting on them to get through to the next round after their gigantic task against Benfica, one of the top sides in Europe, as Demoski plays it back, and then Hibs claiming the throw-in. I get it here, Mulligan involved. Just over halfway. Hibs, as Scott has been describing, just missing that final action, that final pass, that bit of composure, that bit of guile. Can they find it before the break? They don't need to, but boy, it would make David Gray's half-time team talk more of a joy, as Obita plays a poor pass behind his teammate on the far side, and then Obita across the, we have to say, is a bobbly surface, to Warren O'Hora, who's got the freedom of North Macedonia to roam forward here towards the final third. Gives it to Nathan Lowe, he's on the right corner of the box. Back to Paslak, now O'Hora, Paslak down the side of the box for Chaiwa, back heel return for Paslak, who was in front of the defender and goes down, and the referee's happy with the challenge. Paslak was not, and now Shkendija can break. It is the captain who takes it forward, Jalen Lai, and he finds Tamba, and now Islami leaves it for De Freitas out towards the box. It's Creziu, and De Freitas switches out to the right hand side. Trumci comes inside the pitch, gets the return pass, and Shkendija are patient, knocking it about. Can they find some penetration as it's played to the left hand side, and Creziu in on the right foot again, sends it towards the back post, curling ball, it goes over the jump of Nzengi and behind for a Hibs goal kick. 0-0, 2-1 to Hibs on aggregate.
Yeah, really good from Hibs in transition. Paslak tries to buy the foul. Yeah, try to counter-attack. Chaiwa does really well to just get back goal side, just manage to disrupt that counter-attack and then frustrate them. And I think that side of the game, David Gray will be really happy with the crosses coming in from deep. You've got the back three right across the width for the 6-yard box. Hibs will take that all day.
Long goal kick from Salinger. Nathan Lowe's underneath it, wins it. Eldon then knocks it forwards. It'll be chased, but won by Shkendija backline and hooked up in the air. Looked like it was heading out, but it's going to drop, and it's a battle in there at the moment as Zelonai comes forward, and it's Demoski plays it up the line into space, but it's comfortable for Ahora, and then Salinger finds the feet of Mulligan. He turns. Ahora scoops the ball up the line. It's going to sail out. So 4 minutes to the break plus stoppage time. So far so good for Hibernian. Far from a scintillating performance, but it's certainly been solid. Shkendija been limited really to a couple of long-range efforts from the winger Almir Creziu. A couple of balls into the box which have been comfortably dealt with by either defenders or Salinger. And they'll try again through Manev. And due to a couple of injuries I mentioned before, that Shkendija's bench has quite a few teenagers on it. Not that we can assume they've not got talent, but it's not a front-line bench, if you like, for Shkendija tonight. So the longer Hibs can get into this game, and they've got a strong bench themselves. That long ball goes through to Salinger, and Hibs survive another. Well, survive is too too potent a word, I think. Hibs see out comfortably another Shkendija spell of possession. This is knocked out for a Hibs throw-in. 2.5 minutes to the break. Still goalless. The manager, Artem Polojani of Shkendija, rather animated down there. Paid a lot of respect to Hibs in his pre-match press conference. Wasn't sure how they would approach the game. Whether they'd come out and try and flatten them or protect what they have, and it's been kind of, yeah, it's halfway between, I guess. Yeah. They've been it's been quite a low tempo game, I would say, but it's easy for me to say when I'm not running about in 28-degree heat like the players are at the moment, but it's not been really fast-paced, high tempo, and given Hibs have the 1-goal advantage on the tie, then it's probably,
I think that suits Hibs.
Yeah,
it absolutely suits Hibs. I think you've got to credit them for their shape as well, because it has really frustrated Shkendija, especially when they're trying to find these spaces.
Hora into the edge of the box, past Lack, and he nudges it towards the penalty spot. Chaiwa heads it forwards, headed back away by Shkendija, and then Kerr returns it, taken by Elding, trying to hold off Islami. He's not managed to do it, and Islami has put in a nice turn and finds a teammate as well, and it's forward now for Trumci, and then into Tamba, and back to Trumci, to Tamba, right hand side of the box, and he flashes a half-decent ball across the area between the penalty spot and the 6-yard line, but no takers.
It's a 4v10. Hibs with the 10 obviously behind the ball, and you're just looking there saying the set-up behind the ball from Hibs is good. Even when given away there's a bit of space. Hibs just managed to get the bodies back and really prevent any space for Shkendija to play into. And as I said, David Gray will be really delighted with that aspect of the game. It's just, can you be a lot cleaner in your overall out? Sorry, I'm just seeing that ball. Can you be a lot cleaner when you're around their box? Even that time there when Paslak is on the ball. He doesn't have to rush the pass. There's no pressure on him. Just stay on the ball. Try and attract a bit of pressure to allow yourself space to play in. And that's just my wee criticism. I don't know if it's because it's a game. They obviously know what's at stake.
And Hibs get the free kick here. And the yellow card comes out as well for Trumchi as he took down, I think it was Nathan Lowe in the end.
Yeah, he was late with that one. It's good play from Lowe. But yeah, just that extra bit of care around the box. They're always in a hurry to make the pass. And I don't know if the occasion, because they know there's a lot at stake, but I think that'll be the part of the game where the Hibs coaching staff will be looking at. Just calm yourselves down, show a bit of composure around the edge of the box, and the game's there for you.
Still goalless in the other games involving Scottish sides tonight. Hearts are just kicking off as we speak. Motherwell 0, HJK 0, Rangers 0, Jagiellonia 0. Hibs free kick here, or past the 45 minutes. And comes in from deep, right to Jason Kerr, corner of the 6-yard box, but he was pushing the defender Demoski at the back post, so the free kick, and we've got into the final 20 seconds, because there's only one additional minute being signalled for of the first half. Hibs will be pretty comfortable with where they're at. Want more in the final third, but it's still the 1-goal advantage in the tie. Kerr's header into the centre circle. Lowe battles for it. And there is the half-time whistle. So, as it stands, Hibernian are heading through to the playoff round of the Conference League. Only half the job done though. Ornahora's winner at Easter Road remains the difference between Shkendija and Hibernian. It's a first half which has been competitive, had a lot of battling in there. Precious little quality. Shkendija's opportunities have been limited to 2 long-range efforts from Krieziu, the left winger, coming in off his left-hand side and shooting with the right foot, but it's not troubled Salinger on either occasion. And Callum Wright had one chance round the back from a pass that corner for Hibs, which he couldn't quite turn goalwards. Other than that, there's been little half chances for Hibs. Lowe was played in and dragged his shot, which was blocked anyway. There's been Eldon, who was in a good position, but the defender got back in the nick of time to stop his shot or cross across the face. So not much quality in the final thirds, but at the moment Hibs won't care, because at half-time in North Macedonia it's Shkendija 0, Hibernian 0, 2-1 to Hibs on aggregate.
Hibernian in the UEFA Conference League qualifiers.
Live on Sports Sound.
From BBC Radio Scotland.
Hey toaster, play BBC Radio Scotland.
Stop asking your toaster to play BBC Radio Scotland. You need something way more intelligent. Like me.
Every Monday, you could win a smart speaker to make listening to BBC Radio Scotland even easier. The phone lines will open when you hear the smart speaker say,
"Win a smart speaker" on BBC Radio Scotland.
Tune in to Mornings on Radio Scotland every Monday from 10 to find out more.
Win me and I'll play BBC Radio Scotland. And I'll never burn your toast.
You are listening to Sports Sound on BBC Radio Scotland. Extra live coverage of Hibernian's Conference League third qualifying round tie and second leg in North Macedonia. It is 0-0 as we've just been describing. Myself, Thomas Duncan, and former Hibs midfielder Scott Allen. Hibs 2-1 up on aggregate. Elsewhere tonight, Rangers in Europa League action at Ibrox. They're up against Jagiellonia Białystok of Poland. They trailed 2-1 from the first leg. That kicked off at 7:30, and Lawrence Shankland has given them the lead from the penalty spot. So that is Rangers 1, Jagiellonia 0. That is now 2-2 in aggregate, and Ibrox would have greeted that one vociferously. A much needed goal for Derek McInnes and Rangers. They lead 1-0. Elsewhere, Motherwell 20 minutes into their game, that was also 7:30 kick-off. Motherwell 0, HJK Helsinki 0. That's 1-1 in aggregate, so still finely poised. I'll give you this scoreline because, as I mentioned, Hibs will play either Ghent or Gothenburg in the playoff round. Should they get there, it's 0-0 between those two at the moment after 20 minutes. 1-0 Ghent leads on aggregate. And Hearts v Benfica is just 4 minutes in the Europa League. That is goalless. Let's get a little word from Brian McLaughlin, our man in North Macedonia in the stadium. I guess you'll have seen better first halves in your long career, Brian, but how's the atmosphere, and more importantly perhaps in terms of the second half and how this might pan out for Hibs? How's the heat?
Yeah, well, the heat's just below 30 degrees at the moment, Thomas. That means there's no water breaks for the players this evening, which I'm absolutely astonished at. And as you could probably hear, the PA system is working. But that said, that's probably the most interesting part of the first half, and it has to be said, so far so good for Hibernian. The small band of fans of the Easter Road faithful who's made their way here around the way to my right hand side, around 300 of them here. They've been in fine voice throughout that opening 45 minutes, but yeah, just looking from the main stand here down at the pitch, the watering system is on at the moment, and I think it could do with it, to be honest with you, because there's one or two occasions the pitch looks a little bit bumpy there and making it a little bit difficult, particularly for short passes. But yeah, all so far so good, Thomas, and yeah, the home fans have been relatively quiet as the PA system just turns down a little bit.
Yeah, Brian, obviously you'll have been amongst the Hibs fans in the last 24 hours or so, I would imagine. Did they travel in good spirits, especially I suppose after that massive 3 points at Ibrox on Sunday? What was their feeling about this one?
Absolutely travel in good spirits. You know, the late winner last week from Warren O'Hora, followed up by a late winner at Ibrox on Sunday, it's certainly taken a little bit of the heat off David Gray, because there were one or two doubters beginning to worry about David Gray in terms of his position at the club, but he certainly doubted those critics over the last couple of weeks. That win on Sunday was well timed, as was that late goal last week, and they have a real belief within the squad, Thomas, that they can actually go through, not just tonight, but whoever it be, whether it be Gothenburg or again next week, they can come through that tie, create a little bit of history, because Hibs have never played in the group or league stages of a European competition before, and they think that this could be their year. And certainly on this first 45 minutes here tonight, I don't think there's too much to fear about from the North Macedonians, but they were particularly, I think early on in the first half, down that right hand side, they were causing Hibs a little bit of problem, but once David Gray tweaked the system ever so much and started to put a little bit of pressure on the win backs for the Macedonian side, then you'd have to say I think Hibs have been the better team.
Yeah, thanks Brian. That's Brian McLaughlin, our man in North Macedonia, and Skopje for us. Right, let's go to Fir Park, where Amy Canavan is watching Motherwell against HAK Helsinki.
Yeah, North Macedonia to Motherwell. Thomas, thanks very much. We're 22 minutes in here at Fir Park, and it's been a really good 22 minutes. 1-1 from last week in Helsinki, still 0-0 here today. Alfred Johansson, the Motherwell manager, promised a really aggressive start, and I must say HJK have been equally aggressive. It's been proper end-to-end stuff, a really enjoyable game so far. Motherwell just turning it up a notch in the last few minutes or so. Jake Girdwood-Reich, the defender, he raised as the ball was looped into the back post, and his header ended up in the side netting, and then just a matter of minutes ago, Tawanda Maswanisi was slipped, and it was a lovely ball from the far side. I couldn't quite see who got it in. It might have been Alex Lowry, but it was a lovely ball. But in fairness to the HJK goalkeeper, he read the situation really rather well. It's been a busy old night for Alex Paulson so far as well. He's currently getting blinded by the sun. It's a rarity here in Motherwell, but it's been a great game, as I say, and HJK just have a corner as we speak. 23 and a half in 0-0.
Thanks Amy. Amy will be across that for us throughout the evening on Sportsound and at the website as well, bbc.co.uk/Sport Scotland. I'm delighted to say we've got some fresh chat in the studio. You don't have to listen just to me and Scott Allen. Tom English, BBC Scotland's chief sports writer, has joined us, and Tom, you've been watching Rangers and Hibs and Motherwell, and I guess it's so far so good across the board.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I've been watching two of the games inside the next studio. Rangers obviously won up, much needed goal for Lawrence Shankland, first for the club from the penalty spot. Rangers started pretty well. McCann had a shot, Shankland had a shot from close range. Jokita is the one that's making it all happen. He's bombing down the right. Such positivity, such pace, such energy. I would imagine he's really lifting Ibrox with the things that he's doing. And it was his run that created the penalty. Cross. Kobayashi, the former Celtic player, tried to stoop to head it clear. He misses the header, comes off his arm. It's a penalty. It's 1-0. But that just before that, because it was quite timely, just before that, Imaz for Jagiellonia hits the inside of the Rangers post. If he's 1-on-1, it's a brilliant through ball. Pandur is beaten, comes off the inside of the post, and just a second ago, Imaz had another great shot which Pandur had to beat away. So look, it's all level, 2-2 on aggregate. Finally poised, I think, is the line.
Yeah, I guess that one we expected goals. I think most people thought Rangers might concede. Sounds like they could have conceded a couple, but the important thing is they're on the scoreboard. But yeah, I guess Tom, you're too long in the tooth to get too excited about the fact that Scottish sides are in good positions at this point. There's a long way to go. But
I'm just too long on the tooth, regardless, football or otherwise. Hibs going okay though. I mean, so far so good for them.
Yeah, I think looking at Hibs, I think out of possession and what you've seen on Sunday is pretty much more of the same.
Right.
Defend the box really well, so anything they're allowing to come in the box, they're clearing up nice and easy. They look very comfortable and forcing Shkendija into long balls, very speculative sort of creativity. So they look fine in that aspect. It's just that wee bit round the edge of the box can't show that bit of finesse. And I know the pitch. Brian's speaking about the pitch a few times now, so it must be. You obviously when you see it on the screen, it looks a lot better than it is in real life. But for me, I think the foundations of going away in Europe is defending well, and Hibs have defended really well. Paslak again for me a standout, and he's been a fantastic addition to this Hibs side since he came in January. Very aggressive with the ball and just a willing runner all night. So he's been a standout for me. But just that little bit more caring, there's chances there for Hibs for me.
Yeah, because I was going to ask you, Scott, about the Hibs midfield, because they've obviously got the two in there again, Mulligan and Chaiwa, and you would say they're not the type of midfielder you were, shall we say?
Say exactly what you're thinking, please.
In terms of, I wonder, obviously they've got Jamie McGrath on the bench, but it's been quite a settled squad over the summer for Hibs. It's 5 additions. Do you think they need someone else in that midfield who can provide a bit of spark, a bit of creativity? I know McGrath's on the bench tonight, but another one like that.
Yeah, I would get another one in, and I know Hibs are actively trying to find that sort of profile of player. I think you got to give Davy Gray a little bit of leeway. I think McGrath's been injured. He comes on for a bit on Sunday, and then it's just about easing him back into the squad. There's no doubt for me, Hibs were playing their best football last year, and the reason why I thought they performed well in the European campaign, albeit they didn't go through against some really good sides from Europe last year, was the fact of the balance in the midfield. And McGrath and Mulligan together, you actually allow Mulligan to get into higher positions, and he's not the one that's having to dictate play, because I don't think that's really his game. His game's driving with the ball into space, making the box, whereas McGrath finds pockets and he's got that eye for a pass, and obviously the delivery from set pieces that we know he possesses as well. So I think once he's back to full fitness, you'll see the balance in the midfield look a lot different for him what it is just now. And there's a lot of talk with Chaiwa maybe moving on, but for me, when you're asking guys to be a possession-based team, who two of their main attributes it probably isn't really take the ball under pressure and being composed and looking to probe playing forward passes. So listen, as I said, I think you got to take tonight in isolation. It's a difficult place to go. You spoke about their record before the game. Not lost many games here, and Hibs defensively looked excellent for me. So I'll maybe take. I can take the fact that they maybe haven't been as clean in the build-up and round the edge of the box as I would like them to be.
Yeah, well, it's all about getting through. It's the bottom line. Tom, before I let you go, just a word on just how massive it would be for Hibs. They're aiming to be the first club to get through, or the first Hibs team ever to get through into the league or group phase. And given, the financial losses that Hibs have posted recently, you've talked about with Kenny the kind of debate a bit about David Gray and the style of play and all, just how massive it would be for him and Hibs to get into the league phase. Now, of course, we know they've got another round to go after this and this half to go, but
I think any team, Scottish team, pulling off a successful result in Europe, and I don't care who they're playing against, is an achievement, because we've seen so many Scottish teams going under against what we thought were eminently beatable opposition. So if they were to go over there and to come back and they're still in the competition, they go through, I think that's terrific. It's terrific not just in the here and now for European prospects. It's terrific for David Gray, because if there's a few Hibs fans on his case, I think everyone calms down. And it's brilliant as well for domestically, because it just feeds the feel good. So yeah, like I really hope that I'm gonna say hang on, because I don't think we're in a hanging on situation, are we? But that they get through, they finish the job.
Yeah, I was actually coming back from the gym today, walking up my street, and there was 2 guys out working out in the street, and I could hear them talking about the coefficient. So they were talking about the games today. I said,
what kind of gyms do you go to?
I think they were Celtic fans, and they were saying, oh, I hope that. Obviously, I don't think they were wishing Rangers well, but I think they were saying, I hope Hibs and Motherwell do it because we need it for the coefficient. So the coefficient is massive in Scottish football, as we know, and the more teams that can get through, the better, because it makes it easier for everyone else. And as Thomas said, not every side has covered themselves in glory in recent years, albeit there have been some notable exceptions. Thank you very much to Tom English, our chief sports writer. He's staying across all the games. Reaction from him and from all the games with us here on Sports Sound after the Rangers game concludes. The second half not too far away in North Macedonia. We will bring you full live commentary. Myself and Scott Allen still goalless in the Motherwell game, and Hearts as well, who are a bit of the afterthought at the moment because they had such a tough tie and they're 6-1 down on aggregate. Still goalless after 15 minutes at Tynecastle. They of course though are in the Europa League, so they will drop into the Conference League next week, and they will play Rapid Vienna of Austria. So the players are back out here at this tie here in North Macedonia. So it doesn't look like there's going to be any changes, but if there are, I will update you. But Hibs in a good, strong position, a solid first half performance. Can they build on it? They don't need to build on it, and 0-0 is absolutely fine and will do them nicely. They were rarely troubled in the first half, and they are going to kick off the second half, and more of the same in terms of their discipline and their work rate. Could well see them through as Hibs kick off, and it goes straight back to Salinger, and he goes long towards the target man Nathan Lowe. He glances it forward, it will run towards the byline, and it will just be shepherded out for a goal kick. And what do you think the message will have been from David Gray at half time, Scott?
I think defensively he'll be delighted. I think he'll just speak about the things we spoke about. He'll know that just taking that extra care in the final third, don't want to be giving the ball away cheaply and then having to defend counter-attacks if possible. So just a little bit more care on the ball. It's a huge 45 minutes. I think they would have took belief with the fact that they resorted Shkendija to very little. And I still think you look at that Hibs bench, I think it's really strong when you compare it to the opposition. I think there's guys there who can come on and really affect this game and impact it in a way where Hibs can go and win this game. I really do. But more of the same defensively, just take a little bit more care.
Yeah, they've got Boyle on the bench, McGrath, Clige is not really at the head of the light, but still capable on his day. Shuto has been good in the last couple of games. Shuto often pops up with an important goal. Hibs play it forward towards Lowe. Defender gets the first touch on it, but it breaks Hibs' way, and it's Adam Mayer who's in a central position in Shkendija's half. Goes back to Jordan Obita. Obita takes it inside a couple of yards and then fizzes the pass into Lowe. His touch is too heavy, and
it's the wrong pass. It's the wrong pass. Obita just needs to come back outside to Mayer. Against forcing that straight pass in, all the aggression's on the presser, and it bounces off Lowe.
It will be a free kick now to Shkendija. They recycle it. Islami, the midfielder, and as Tom touched on there, it's would be no mean feat to come away and defeat this team over two legs. Shkendija, as we mentioned, their strong home record and their progression in the Conference League last season. As it comes over to Islami, chests it on the halfway line and he carries it forward. He's got Tumchi to his right, but he opts for the ball into the heart of the Hibs defence. Kerr's touch wasn't the most convincing, but it breaks over to the far side and Hibs clear. Lowe's having to do a power of work trying to keep the ball, but it goes to Tamba now. Second ball, Tamba from distance, and it flies past Salinger's post. He was comfortable, it was going nowhere near the target. The Hibs goalkeeper didn't really move for it. It goes wide. Shkendija 0, Hibs 0, 2-1 to Hibs on aggregate.
It was a chance, wasn't it? He just tries to get out his feet and find that near post. I think he has a massive slip again as he's digging up the pitch after it. But again, just that little bit, whether it's a clearance, not getting the right contact on it, and it's just fallen to a Shkendija player. But again, it's all very much controllable from a Hibs point of view. They're not getting cut open.
Goes through to Ramani, the Shkendija goalkeeper. Shkendija beating Europa of Gibraltar 5-0 and 1-0 over the two legs in the first round of the Conference League qualifying, then beat NK Bravo of Slovenia, lost 2-1 away from home but won 3-1 at home, and they were actually 3-1 down in the tie but scored 3 unanswered goals in this very stadium in the second leg. So setting up this meeting with Hibs as it's headed forward by Trimchi up to Tamba. He does well to keep possession. Obita's chasing, goes back to Fabrice Tamba. Low puts a challenge in and it just puts him off enough, and Salinger gives the shout to Chaiwa, and he comes up for his line and picks the ball up. Another comfortable passage of play for Hibs to deal with. And Shkendija, it's the second time they've faced Scottish opposition. Played Derek McInnes's Aberdeen back in 2015 in the Europa League. It's given away by Hibs. Oh, that's a brilliant turn by Tamba. He's absolutely left Obita for dead, and then he's knocked it around Jason Kerr, and it's now Nzengi. Nzengi into the box, and he slices his shot into the side netting, and that's as good a chance as either side have had in this game, and a real shot across the bows of Hibernian. They get away with it. Remains 0-0, 2-1 to Hibs on aggregate.
I actually think it's a really good foul there from Kerr. What Hora actually does well, it doesn't give him the option to go across the goalkeeper. So you're fancying Salinger, obviously the size of him. Anything at the near post, he can cover it and obviously blast it wide and off the outside netting. But where does it come from? A loose pass again, ball out to Mayer. He doesn't have to play it first time, take a touch, attract the pressure. He doesn't, he rushes it, and they're on the counter-attack, and that's the only way I can see Shkendija getting back into this game. It's not going to be from great creative play from them, it's going to be from a bit of looseness from Hibs.
I just wonder in terms of mentality, Scott, you know, when you're in a position where you don't need to score, are you just sometimes a bit more lax in possession? You're so focused on defending, or is it just a lack of concentration in general?
You're maybe asking the wrong sort of guy, because I think when you go out for these games, it's always on your own. If you want to go and win the game, you're not going to sit there for a 0-0 draw. Yes, your structure can maybe give that, but that doesn't then. When you look at decision making on the ball, that doesn't let you off with that. That's just pure decision making there from Adamir. Ball comes into him, he's got plenty of space, and he's popping it off first time in an area where they're out of shape, and it then results in a yellow card for your centre back and a chance given away.
Yeah, it's still 1-0 to Rangers against Jagiellonia. Still 0-0 in the Motherwell game. Hearts 0-0 with Benfica as well, but Ghent have taken the lead against IFK Gothenburg. Volker with a goal after 27 minutes, so Ghent 2-0 up on Gothenburg on aggregate. So as it stands, Hibernian will be playing Ghent of Belgium in the playoff round. What will be probably a team who is of similar standard to Legia Warsaw last season, there or thereabouts, certainly, as Tamba comes down the right hand side. Job far from done from Hibs as Shkendija enjoy a little spell. Tamba's got the better of Obita, he's on the byline, and then he's overrun it. He did all the hard work, and then he just, instead of delivering the ball, runs it out of play. 0-0, 51 minutes played.
Again, I think Obita has him covered. I think Tamba's looked bright at times without looking that he's really going to go and hurt you. And Obita obviously with all his experience there, just ushering her out the pitch. Just a little bit more care on the ball, Hibs. Can they make some passes, switch the play, to not allow momentum to build?
Nathan Lowe challenges for that, doesn't win it this time. Chaiwa forward to Lowe, gets the ball out. Hilding, who's been starved of service really.
He really has, hasn't he? They've not managed to find him.
Bright young talent, made a real impression since his move from Sligo Rovers. Grieziu's feeling a little knock there, the left winger for Shkendija, who's been, you would say, their brightest spark in terms of, well, it's all relative, isn't it? A couple of shots from distance, nice dribbles in off his wing, but
he's had a bit more touches of the ball than some of his teammates.
Yes, as it has floated them behind for Tamba to chase. Obita's scampering after him. Obita does really well, and just to stand his ground, use his body, force him wide, and it's sliced behind for Hibs goal kick.
Yeah, again, Obita there, showing all his experience, not having to jump into the tackle, just getting his body across, making contact, putting Tamba off balance. It slices that over the bar. It's a good ball in though, good ball in behind the Hibs defence. I just wondered, would Salinger maybe come and take that? I think when you've got trust in your defenders in front of you, you're allowed to go and deal with it, and Obita defended it really well.
Bounces as Lowe challenged. Wright goes after it. Chaiwa intercepts it. Plays it forward. First time now bouncing the box. Will it drop for Nathan Lowe? It does. Straight at the goalkeeper though. Thuds off his chest. And it's cleared away. That's a really good chance for Hibs. But it's Shkendija 0, Hibs 0.
Well, it's a huge chance for Hibs. It's Eldon, the first time we've seen him kind of on the ball in a creative position. He just helps it in between the right back and the right centre back. And Nathan Lowe, he's got to go across the goalkeeper for me. Yes, he makes contact with it, but I think he can do a lot better with the finish.
Yeah, it's very early in his Hibs career.
But we've seen these sort of chances already, haven't we? Even though there's not been many games.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. Is he's his type of striker. He's still young. He's only 20, but he gets in good positions to score goals. But he's not shown a lethal touch. Although he did score against Malasheva in the return at Easter Road. Oh, and a horrible slice clearance from Jason Kerr there. He's lucky it's gone straight out for a throw-in.
The crowd gets lifted, all these sort of thing, the technical aspects of the game that are so important for me. Just gives them a lift.
Islami switches the play out to Trumchi, the right back. Only player on a yellow card so far, and he fires a switch towards the left-hand side of the box, but there was far too much on it, and Hibs will take that all day. 54.5 minutes played, still goalless, 2-1 to Hibs on the tie. Heading through to play Ghent as it stands. But yeah, Nathan Lowe, just, he's had a good record, League 2, League 1. He's played a wee bit in the Championship for Stoke. I guess this is another level for him, and it's just about developing that finishing ability really in better moments.
I don't judge these sort of chances as anything to do with level. I just think that they're instinctive finishes from someone who's ruthless round the edge of the box or in the penalty box, regardless of levels. Maybe that's been slightly harsh, but it's just how I see it with a striker. I think you give any striker who's got a history of scoring goals these sort of chances, they'll believe they can go and score them. And that's just a few times in the last kind of 4 games where he's had good opportunities to make good contact, and I'm just more thinking about the execution and where you want to put that ball, and he's chose something else.
Yeah, it was a clean enough strike, but it was directed right where the goalkeeper was standing. The goalkeeper didn't have to move to save it because he'd hit it with such force that the goalkeeper couldn't really move. He didn't have to make the save, but it's won by Mayer, and he fires it into the 6-yard box. And the goalkeeper Ramani was really smart to smother it because Eldon his eyes were lighting up for a tap-in. Yeah,
Mayer obviously wins the ball back, flashes one into the 6-yard box. And the goalkeeper actually does really well to come out and collect that just ahead of Owen Eldon.
Eldon scored from a similar position in the first leg. Went right, put it across, and he stepped onto it and stroked it home. Goalkeeper was smart to react on that occasion. 4 minutes short of the hour. Hibs still leading by 1 goal on aggregate against Shkendija of Macedonia. Salinger hasn't really had a save to make so far. Still time for the North Macedonian side to fashion something, but they're lacked a bit of quality as a ball up the side finds Eldon. He's down the right hand side of the box, but the defender gets back well, takes it off him, and the referee's whistle has gone against. Is it offside here, or the Kazakh referee has certainly stopped play. Oh, and Eldon looks rather bemused, but it's actually going to go back for a Hibernian free kick, I think. So advantage was being played.
It looked tight, didn't it, the offside decision? It's a good ball, good area. Again, Eldon looking at the surface, wasn't he, after when he tried to cut inside?
It definitely does look bobbly when you see it close up, as that long ball finds the head of Lowe and he just glances it through and behind for a goal kick. And in fairness to Nathan Lowe, he does have to also do a lot of battling up there, try to win his flick-ons and his headers, as well as put the ball in the back of the net, which didn't manage to do with that chance.
Yeah, there's two parts of a striker, isn't there? There's in the box, can they go cold and be ruthless in front of goal, and then there's the other part when he's going really direct to him. He's wrestling guys, trying to bring his teammates into play. It's no easy task being that.
Yeah, well, Casper Who put a bit of a clinic on that front at Rugby Park, and
he really did.
And Sunday for Celtic, that was as good a all-round centre-forward performance as I've seen for a while. But Nathan Lowe, obviously not of that pedigree yet. 20 years old. Who knows? He's trying to fill those sort of shoes for Hibernian this season. First choice number 9 for David Gray in the early part of this season. And I just wonder if we will see Martin Boyle at some point. Do you risk him with his suspect Achilles on a surface that is not the truest, if you're ultimately heading through at the moment?
I think David Gray spoke on Sunday and explained that it was Achilles tendinitis, so it's not so much that it's going to be an impact, or it's more of just, can you handle that sort of pain? That's the sort of injury tendinitis is. You either get it in your knee, your Achilles, these sort of places. It's, can you manage the pain while you're playing? I'd be surprised if Martin Boyle didn't come on at some point, depending on how the game goes. But I do feel David Gray will be happy with how they've...
Kriesi goes down the outside and it drops at the edge of the 6-yard box. Trimchi on the left foot, and it's lucky it was on his left foot because he makes horrific contact, slices it high and wide.
Yeah, and that kind of sums up the game, does it, in terms of chances for both sides. When there has been a sighted goal, there's just been no real composure in front of goal. Again, the full back there coming in his left foot, and it's wild. 30 yards over the bar. And Hibs will be happy with that. Looking at the second half, when Shkendija are trying to get back into this game, there hasn't been a real purpose about them. The game, as you said, in the first half, it's kind of continued in the same vein. There hasn't been lots of energy, especially for a team who are trying to get back in the tie.
Yeah, they look like a team that's coached to play possession football, but don't quite have the speed of thought or movement to kind of really get the movements in that will unsettle Hibs out, get them out of their shape. They kind of knock it about harmlessly as Hibs come forward here, and there's this chance here, edge of the box, chance for Eldon, saved, and it doesn't break to Mayer on the rebound as the defender gets in the nick of time. Hibs with another decent opportunity, and it stays 0-0, 2-1 to Hibs.
Again, it's the finishing letting Hibs down. It's well worked. They're on the second ball. The ball slipped through to Eldon, and he just creates that half yard to try and get a strike at goal. He's got to find one of the corners and hits it right down the throat of the goalkeeper. I just wonder, before that was maybe Adam Mayer on that left hand side, the better option. That was away from the pressure. But again, another chance for Hibs, and a big chance at that for me.
Yeah, I agree with you. I thought that's where the pass would go. Slipped out to Mayer, but Eldon took it on, and we hit the hour mark, and it's still 0-0, 2-1 to Hibs on aggregate, with the switch of play this time for Mayer does not come off, runs out for...
That's exactly what you were talking about at half time, and that's the frustrating thing when you have that sort of profile of player in the part where they're industrious and they've got great legs. And they moments where you need that just concentration and a bit of care. It's a great move from Hibs. It's into Mulligan, it's set back to Chima. He just has to step onto that and just set it in front of Adam Mayer, and it's bouncing and it goes straight out the pitch for a throw in. And that's the things as a manager that really frustrate you. It's just not taking care. And I know I've used that word about 100 times tonight, but it's pretty much summed up.
No, it
from
is.
a Hibs point of view.
It sums up perfectly. There's been numerous times where Hibs players are trying. It's not even you're having to thread it through the eye of a needle or find feet really in a really difficult position. It's kind of playing it into space, and they've overhit the pass or miscued it. It's a frustration. It's not cost them in any way at the moment because they've been comfortable at the other end. It's half time at Ibrox. Rangers 1, Jagiellonia Białystok 0. Lauren Shanklin's penalty has levelled that tie for Rangers, 2-2 on aggregate. Here comes Shkendija, who are looking to do the same in Skopje. Hibs with a 1-goal advantage from Easter Road as Trimchi plays it into the box for Zelunai, and then it goes into the striker and Zengi, who stuck out the leg as it went behind him, and he just diverts it over the top of the crossbar. It's the only finish he could really go for. It's too high.
Yeah, again, just a wee warning sign for Hibs there. Switching off, Zengi gets in front of the defender, just goes over the bar as the changes are made for David Gray.
It's Callum Wright coming off for Hibernian, and Jamie McGrath is on, and that'll be music to Scott's ears.
Yeah, the game's crying out for a player, a bit of finesse, a bit of invention. He came on, had an impact in the game at the weekend, but it's not been one of his better nights, Callum Wright, and I know there's a lot of promise about him.
Yeah, created the goal, well, obviously scored the winner at Ibrox, help of a deflection, but still was a decent enough strike, and then he created the goal in the first leg for Eldon. It's given away by Hibs, and then Zengi spins and tries to play in Tamba, but it's won by Jason Kerr, and it's headed and bounces into McGrath, and then he's caught in possession. He had 2 men on him. It's now Trumchi. Hibs need to be careful not to give Shkendija momentum in this game and get pinned back, because they have been slack with the ball in the last 5 minutes or so. It's 0-0 at half-time. Fir Park, Motherwell 0, HJK Helsinki 0, 1-1. The tie as Krieziu comes in again off the left and fires another shot towards the stands. 0-0. In fact, it was Demoski this time. And Hibs will accept those kind of attempts, Scott, all day long.
Yeah, and that's what we've seen in the first half. Hibs limit them to very little in behind their defence, and trust your goalkeeper there to make a save if need be, come from that sort of range. And any chance they have had to get a decent strike on target is kind of like miles by.
Yeah, Salinger's he's been a spectator, really. And Endrik Krasniqi replaces Arbin Jenulai for Shkendija, number 10, straight swap. He did score in the away leg against NK Bravo. Creative player, on to try and make the difference for Shkendija as they chase the goal that would put them ahead on the night and level on the tie. Turn from Nzengi, the striker, plays it back to the halfway line in his Lamy, out to Trumchi, and it's De Freitas into Krieziu. Again, it's patient from the North Macedonian side, but Hibs comfortable in their shape at the moment. It goes up to Krieziu, and then De Freitas, he turns, gives out to the right hand side where substitute Krasniqi had pulled out to make an option, but the pass went straight out the pitch. Hibs throw in.
Yep, and Hibs will be happy with that. These little moments where Shkendija pushing for a way back into this tie. Just that bit of slackness as well from their part now.
I feel like I don't think I gave Shkendija the big build-up, but I certainly underlined their credentials, especially at home. And look, they could still go through in this tie, but
they've not been impressive.
No, they've not been impressive. And I'd actually say Malasheva offered more. Certainly, obviously beating Hibs 2-0. They looked like they had more quality when it came to the final third, both at Easter Road, although they got well beaten, and in the away leg. But certainly, Shkendija are the better side on paper. But
it's one of the games, isn't it? You're looking at it going, Hibs have defended really well, but at the same time, it's hard not to criticise the opponent. They've been
Demoski with a shot from distance, blocked, and Zengi gets onto it, and it goes through to Salinger, who gathers comfortably, and he's immediately trying to launch the counter-attack with a long strike forward. Nathan Lowe is going to get there. Doesn't have any support though. Stops and holds it up, and holds it up well. Gives the pass away. Now it's Mulligan, and there's a forward pass into McGrath.
What he used his left foot there.
It's Scott Allen, hands on his head, because there was an opportunity to thread that to McGrath on the edge of the box. Mayers crosses a good one into the 6-yard box, glanced away by Shkendija, and now they pick up the loose ball just outside the box, but it's really good play by Krasniqi to exit his penalty area. Islami, and now De Freitas stops and threads a lovely ball into Nzengi. Nzengi to it's a midfielder Islami, and the switch of play goes out to the left hand side. Krieziu controls it with the shoulder. He's not got any pressure on him, so he can pick up, gives it infield to Islami, and it's a lovely little flick. Nzengi on the edge of the box gets the strike away, and it's again well off target, but that was a lovely neat move from Shkendija, and they are just starting to put a few phases of play together, but yet to trouble Salinger's goal.
Yeah, we spoke about Hibs protecting that heart of their team round the edge of the box. They defended it well in the first half, but you're now seeing the combinations from some of the substitutes coming on, trying to impact this game. And Piazza again with a wild finish by the post, and we hope it continues in that vein tonight, if I'm being honest. But go back to that opportunity with Josh Mulligan. I know you said thread, Thomas, but it wasn't even a thread. It was off the side of the shoulder. It was just a left foot pass. He's facing him, and he just turns away and takes the safe option. For me, that was a safe option. You had the numbers forward.
They come down the right through Tamba. He is chased back by Adam Mayer, and it goes back with a pass to Islami, the midfielder, across to De Freitas, and he plays it to Trumchi on this right hand side. Comes inside the pitch, and it goes back out to Islami on the right hand side of the Hibs box. Inside ball, and back out to Trumci. Shkendija opting again to keep possession, but they've been forced all the way back to the goalkeeper by Hibs, who know if they just keep their discipline, keep their shape, then they can keep them at bay. But that's better as they come down the left hand side and Zengi turns in the left corner of the box, and his pass is cut out and Hibs can clear down towards halfway. 21.5 minutes plus stoppage time for Hibs to see out as they lead 2-1 in this tie. It's Trumci into the centre-back position. It's Shkendija, as they are wont to do, trying to build up from the back. And they come down the left-hand side now. Danger here for Hibs, and the cross is overhit. Did it take a deflection? I don't think it did. In fact, it actually went all the way behind for Hibs goal kick, I think. Mulligan certainly felt so. It's the cross down the left. It did actually take a deflection, so this will be a corner kick to Shkendija. Krasniqi on the near side. Hibs with some defending to do. Krasniqi, right-footed, high outswinger to the back post, and there's a wild swipe as the half volley was attempted, and it runs out for a throw-in on the far side. Shkendija continuing to get into decent positions, but the quality letting them down badly.
Yeah, it was a really deep outswinger there from Shkendija. I think he's your left back in that position. He's trying to catch on the half volley, completely miskicks it. His own Eldon.
And Owen Eldon makes way. It's been a bit of a frustrating night for Owen Eldon. He had that opportunity straight at the goalkeeper, was saved. But Martin Boyle is on, and that is a boost for Hibernian that he is able to play tonight, nursing that Achilles issue, as we said. And he is on for Owen Eldon for the final 20 minutes plus stoppage time of this game. And Hibs still goalless on the night in Skopje, leading 2-1 on aggregate as they look to get through to the playoff round, where, as it stands, they will face Ghent, who are 2-0 up on aggregate, and Gothenburg 1-0 in their home game at half-time. So that is who Hibs will play as it stands. And Hibs have managed to get themselves a free kick, right-hand side of the box. Can they make the most of it? Because you feel certainly a goal for Hibs to get 2 in front on the tie would kill Shkendija's challenge, given what we've seen from them in attack.
Yeah, I think I said that after 10 minutes. I think a goal would be enough to see Hibs through. Actually really disappointing, Shkendija. Tonight, as it says, we spoke about that record they had at home. But it's a chance for Hibs. Can they get the delivery right?
And it comes left-footed, 6-yard box, it's over low, and the goalkeeper punches it out to this near side. Hibs will get the throw-in.
You just feel the longer this goes like this, they'll have to commit bodies forward. They'll have to.
It was a decent dipping ball, but it just didn't come down quick enough for Nathan Lowe. Hibs have it. Mulligan, left-hand side, sends in the cross to the back post. It's dipping, and the goalkeeper came and flung himself at it, got gloves to it. And now Shkendija will counter. Hibs get back, and it's fired forward, and Jason Kerr is there to deal with it, and he actually finds the feet of Adam Mayer, who then just plays it forward over Nathan Lowe, and it will go through to the defender, who is Manev, who nods it back to his goalkeeper. 18 to go for Hibs. 2-1 on aggregate, 0-0 on the night. But yeah, Shkendija, as I mentioned, it was the first time they were in league phase football last season, the Conference League, and they had some notable results as they come down the left here. Another chance to deliver, and that one was, at least didn't go behind for a goal kick, but does go to Hibs goalkeeper Salinger, who claims it comfortably.
There's a lovely bit of trickery there to go by Paslak. Mulligan does well to get across and just get a little nick on it, and it takes into Salinger's hand.
It is Krieziu again who put the ball in. He does look...
He's your favourite player this
well,
game.
he's the only one who's kind of taken on his man and just kind of doing something, albeit his end product hasn't been good. But
see at this stage of the game, obviously the draw takes you through to the next round. This is the moment where you need your midfielders, whether it's Mulligan, whether it's McGrath, really going demanding the ball and being brave, making that extra pass, decision making on the ball, when to play forward, when to try and switch your play, and at least frustrate them. At least frustrate Shkendija. What the Hibs are doing, they're just playing back. They look a bit. You can tell they understand which part of the game it is, and they're taking no risk at all. But at the same time, you have to show a bit of composure within that.
Yeah, and I was trying to get the possession stats up there to see how much Shkendija had in the second half, but I don't think opt to do the stats for the Conference League qualifiers. But here they come, Shkendija. Trumshi's peeled round the back of the box, right hand side, and he's well met by Hibs defence, and they are able to clear down to Lowe. He's done brilliantly to hold that up, and then he gets the free kick as well, just as well, because the touch wasn't great from Mulligan. The free kick was given.
Good pass. He actually slips, does he? I think he goes from right to left foot and it lands at Lowe. What Lowe does really well, especially at this, as your lone striker at this time of the game, he holds it up, takes the contact and links it back to Mulligan. As we've seen, it went under his foot, didn't it? And we were lucky that Lowe obviously wins the free kick.
Yeah, sometimes mishit passes are the best passes. See Miguel Chaiwa for the winner on Sunday at Ibrox. Ended up with Hibs claiming all 3 points for the second game in succession at Ibrox, third game in a row, as it goes through to Kerr, but he wasn't able to get on the end of it, and it goes out for a goal kick. And Hibs not creating much. They don't have to at this moment in time. They have a 1-goal advantage, which they earned in the home game. 15 minutes left plus stoppage time for Shkendija to score a goal that would force extra time. Hibs went to extra time 3 times last season against Midtjylland, Partizan and Legia Warsaw. They'll look to avoid that tonight, that's for sure. Big League Cup tie to come on Sunday as Kreziu goes on the outside again, and he tries to stand one up to the back post. He manages it, but it had too much on it. Floats out to the other side. Tamba picks up. Tamba coming in across the box, feels the nudge from Mayer, doesn't get the decision. Breaks for Shkendija. Trumchi back to Zamin, and the glancing header came in from Krasniqi, and that could well have been the goal Shkendija were looking for as it came into him. Glancing header, but it drifts wide of Salinger's right hand post.
Yeah, when it's that sort of delivery where your right back just sets it back to your midfield and he just gives them that corridor, that angle to whip round the ball, and luckily for Hibs it just lands the outside of Salinger's post. But again, it just comes, they haven't had any real sustained possession, Hibs have they, in this second half, but they've really frustrated them at times. They've gave the ball back really cheaply, albeit defending really well up until this point.
You want some good news, Scott, for Scottish football? Motherwell 1, Shaky, Helsinki 0. Ibrahim's side, 47 minutes. I mean, the Steel men as it stands are heading through to face Freiburg in the playoff round, but their advantage is only 1 over the Finnish side, as Obita gives it to Mayer in the final third. It's Mulligan driving down the left-hand side of the box. Mulligan turns round. Mulligan stands up to the back post, headed away by Mielnicki, and the referee's whistle is gone. Not sure why, I've got to be honest. If there was an offside or a foul on the defender or what, but the referee certainly halted this Hibs attack. I think it was offside. 13 minutes left of normal time. Hibs heading through to face Ghent as we sit here right now. 1 tie away from reaching the league phase of the Conference League for the first time. Islami controls for Shkendija, and he carries it inside the pitch, back heel, and it's across from Manev to Mielnicki, and he goes out to his left back, who is Demoski, and Kreziu has done it again, surging down the left-hand side. He showed a clean pair of hills to the Hibs defence, cuts it back to the edge of the 6-yard box, and Tamba was there, should have finished, lost his footing, and skews it wide. It might have taken a deflection on its way through. Our Hibs have survived there.
It's the second time in the last 5 minutes where pass lack's been done on the outside. A little bit of trickery. It's a great pick out, isn't it? And Tamba just can't adjust his feet round the ball. It's a let off for Hibs.
Yeah, and it did come off Jason Kerr. It wasn't going on target anyway, but it cannoned off Kerr and behind for a corner. So Krasniqi is going to swing this in from the far side. Hibs have invited pressure, and it's coming now from Shkendija. Corner is well dealt with. It goes straight through the box and out on the other side. I mentioned Aberdeen played Shkendija in the first round of Europa League qualifying 2015 when Derek McInnes is in charge. It was a tight tie, that one. It finished 1-1 in Skopje. Niall McGinn scoring for Aberdeen, and it was 0-0 at Pittodrie. Aberdeen going through on away goals when they were such a thing. They went on to beat Rijeka, cuff Rijeka actually, in the next round before going out to Kairat Almaty, a name which will send shivers down the spines of Celtic fans. After last year's Champions League exit, Celtic in action in the playoff round of the Champions League next week against Lask Linz of Austria. We'll have full live commentary of that one for you live on Sports Sound. There'll be highlights as well available on the BBC Sport website. Who will be joining Celtic in the playoff rounds of various competitions? Hibs are going to be doing so at the moment with the 1-goal advantage. Likewise, Motherwell, who lead 1-0 in the night, 2-1 in aggregate. Rangers still level as it stands. They will be in the playoff of the Conference League minimum, but in terms of the Europa League, that tie is still level. Shankland's first half penalty, the difference at Ibrox at the moment. Hearts 0, Benfica 0 at half time. That, of course, 6-1 on aggregate to the Portuguese giants. Hearts going into the Conference League playoffs against Rapid Vienna. As
I know Hearts get beat 6-1 in that game over in Lisbon, but it could happen to any one of the Scottish teams if they play them on the night. What they could, I was looking at the end of it, it's a dead rubber, of course it is, but what you can take from it is a bit of belief, and if you could get a good performance against a good side, that just, especially with the new managers now in place, you can take belief for that moving forward, going into the next Conference League game and in the league. So it's impressive from Hearts. I don't know how that game's looked at this moment, whether it's been backs against the wall or they've still been brave, as we've seen them play over the last month or so. But we'll take belief from that scoreline.
8 shots from Benfica, 2 for Hearts, so it's a decent performance so far by the sounds of it from the Tynecastle men. Hibs with 10 minutes plus stoppages left to see this one out as they look to get through to the next round. It's been a solid if unspectacular performance so far from David Gray's men. It doesn't need to be spectacular, it just needs to be a winning one over the piece, and that is how it stands at the moment. But it is the home side, Shkendija, asking all the questions. That they're asking questions in fits and starts. Krieziu occasionally surges down the left and pops a ball in the box. Other than that, here he goes again on the outside down the line, and it's the same feint and drive down the outside that he's done it like 4 times.
Well, if it works, keep doing it. That's what you would say from a Shkendija point of view. More changes come.
Megwa Campbell, and is that Joe Newell as well, all coming on for Hibernian. Triple change. Josh Campbell, a scorer at Ibrox from the penalty spot on Sunday, and Adam Mayer is going to come off, and David Gray trying to inject some fresh legs to see out this game. 8 minutes left plus stoppage time. Adam Mayer makes way. Josh Campbell is on, and there's another 2, although we're not being treated to seeing who else has come off at this stage, but certainly Megwa and Newell are stripped and ready to come on. Joe Newell takes his place in the box, and it's going to be Krasniqi who's going to send in the free kick from deep, and it's caught by Salinger, and Hibs breathe another little sigh of relief. Defended their box comfortably in the main. That little cutback which found in Tamba a couple of minutes ago, really the best chance for Shkendija, but he slipped, skewed his shot wide via the shoulder of Jason Kerr. It's Mulligan and Mayer and Paslak who've all gone off for Hibs. Newell, Megwa and Campbell on. So can they get the job done? Krasniqi looking for the ball down the right touchline. Hibs have it. Chaiwa comes back off him and breaks for Tamba, and now it's Islami. Pressure from Newell, stops, keeps hold of the ball, Islami, and goes square for De Freitas. It's picked off by Hibs, and then the free kick for the foul on Martin Boyle. So sharp, Martin Boyle there, and Hibs will gratefully accept the free kick on halfway.
Yeah, Martin Boyle just preying on that straight pass across the middle of midfield. First touch just takes him out the game. Yeah, it's a huge pull. I think he's ripped his top. Yep, he's ripped Martin Boyle's top.
That's what happens when you move that quickly. He's
in his older age now as well.
A couple of bad injuries as well in there. Rafael Freitas has had his name taken by the referee, gets the yellow card, and Martin Boyle is going to have to get a fresh jersey here. The one's been ripped.
It did disintegrate very easily, didn't it?
It's yeah, I don't know if it just the bottom half of it's just come away. Must have been going at the speed of light, Martin Boyle.
He did used to wear the extra large boys.
Well, keep it tight, no one can pull it, but certainly that didn't work on that occasion.
Big 10 minutes here for Hibs. I'd imagine there's a bit of period of injury time as well.
Yeah, because we've had quite a few subs. Anish Malici has gone off, the centre back, and Besart Ibrahimi is on, so it's a defender for a forward player for Shkendija. As Hibs played that free kick forward, it's come to nothing. Martin Boyle's off the pitch for now, pops out for McGrath. It's back to Chaiwa, and then McGrath has been cleaned out there, and the yellow card is issued to Fabrice Tamba now, and it's a bit of pushing and shoving. But
I just wonder if there was an off the ball incident before that. One of the Hibs players still lying down. About 40 seconds there.
Let's have a look. Looks like it's
Josh Campbell.
Yeah, Josh Campbell, who's down on the turf. Didn't see if there was too much in it or not, but Fabrice Tamba certainly been booked for the late one on McGrath. 4.5 minutes left plus stoppage time. McGrath still feeling the effects of that challenge. Yeah, once scored a free kick from about this position for Aberdeen against PAOK Thessaloniki a couple of years ago. Not sure they'll be thinking about shooting from here though. It was maybe a wee bit further in the pitch, to be fair, but certainly ripped one in.
Your Aberdeen knowledge has been fantastic tonight.
McGrath is ready to deliver this. He's dusted off the challenge. It was a sore one. In it comes to the back post. Hibs get bodies round and the header down and off the turf and into the goalkeeper's gloves. Might have been Jason Kerr who maybe got round the back there and headed it into the ground. It's popped up for the goalkeeper though. The free kick goes Shkendija's way. Chaiwa is going to get booked for a late challenge.
Done really well to get back behind the ball there so quickly from the goalkeeper throwing it there. Shkendija trying to get that counter-attack. Slowing the play down, slowing the game down. All goes in Hibs' favour at this stage of the game.
It's Chaiwa who just gets about the pitch so well. Just with a little late one. And it gets Hibs back behind the ball as the clock hits 87 minutes in Skopje. Hibs still with a 1-goal advantage in this tie, 0-0 on the night. Here's Freitas, Tamba, Freitas up towards Ibrahimi, but it's cleared out for a throw-in, taken quickly to Tamba, and they recycle out to Trumci. Trumci comes in off the right, gives it to Freitas, into Ibrahimi on the edge of the box, gets turned, unleashes the shot with the left foot, it's blocked, and it drops for Joe Newell, who just plays it long into the channel, and go through to the Shkendija goalkeeper Ramani. Hibs, you feel, are just going to sit off the game now and back themselves to defend this pressure from Shkendija. No safety net for the North Macedonian side, they will be out of European football altogether if they do not find a goal in the next 2 minutes plus stoppage time. It is Islami at the back. He's dropped in at centre half, and then it goes to the goalkeeper, out to Manev. Shkendija still patient as they recycle it through the centre backs. Now it comes across to Trumci. It's a bit of a trundler of a pass, but he stops, controls with the right foot, comes inside. It's about 15 yards, 20 yards over the halfway. Gives it to his centre back, now across to the left hand side. This is where Shkendija have caused most problems, down Hibernian's right. Megwa now playing as the right wing back as it comes to Islami, middle of the pitch, lots of space, and he switches it out to the left hand side. Megwa's gone across. Megwa one-on-one. It's on the outside again from Kreziu into the near post. Flick on from Krasniqi, gets the shot back. Now it's Freitas, skewed it wide, and it's booted away by Obita as it came back into the 6-yard box. Nervous moments for Hibernian as we hit the 90th minute. Throw in from Trumci, and it's won by Chaiwa. Comes back to Trumci. Trumci dummies across, comes in on the left foot, and it's overhit and will sail behind for a Hibs goal kick. Shkendija 0, Hibernian 0, 2-1 to Hibs in the 90th minute.
And they'll be glad to see that ball. Just go by Salinger's goal, went out for a goal kick. You see that chance there, a bit of pinball in the box. You just wonder, is it going to fall to a Shkendija player? But again, just Hibs having too many bodies in the box, whether they're getting a block on it or not, they just can't get a clear sight of goal. And ultimately defended well from Hibs at a stage of the game where you can be slightly nervous. This is just all about concentration now for Hibs, making the right decision with and without the ball.
Motherwell 2, sorry Scott. HJK Helsinki 0. Saeed has scored again for the Steelmen. What a player.
What a team.
Yeah, absolutely. So Motherwell heading through, Hibs heading through, Rangers level. 4 added minutes being signalled by the 4th official in Skopje. 4 minutes for Hibs to see out. Trumci got away from his man who was McGrath. Trumci down the side to Ibrahimi. Back to Trumci, and the challenge came in from Newell, used his body, and he has got the goal kick, and the referee is not going to give Shkendija the decision there, and Trumci is furious.
Yeah, and rightly so. I think John Hull gets away with one there. He comes in at some pace, does he? I don't think he plays the ball. He just takes him out. But again, you need things to go in your favour, especially away in Europe, as Salinger goes long from the goal kick.
He's let a few go tonight, the Kazakh referee, who is Vulat Sarajev.
Brilliant at that, Martin Boy, wasn't he? Just feeling the contact, falling on top of the ball. Gamesmanship.
Using all his experience there, and Hibs get a free kick just about 10 yards in from the right touchline. It's about halfway up Shkendija's territory. 3 minutes left for Hibs to see out. They have a 1-goal advantage in this tie, 0-0 on the night. Played down the side of the box for Chaiwa. He's just going to run it into the corner, gets away from the first challenge, and then squeezes the pass away. And it's Nathan Lowe loses it, and that's given up too easily by Hibernian. Now Nzenge squeezes the pass forward, but Chaiwa is there to mop up, and it's given away again by Hibs. Just a few slack moments, and now Shkendija can cross halfway. It's played down the right hand side. Tamba's pulled out, as has Obita. Obita has to stick with him, has stuck with him, and then Tamba eventually, a kind of tired attempt at a dribble, invites Obita onto the ball. And Obita takes it, and Nathan Lowe with a good challenge, and he's been cleaned out. And the free kick has gone to Shkendija. I wonder if that's a bit of guilt from a moment before with the Newell one. They've taken it quickly. 2 minutes left for Hibs. There's a slip in midfield, and then a late challenge advantage being played. Here come Shkendija out to the left-hand side. The danger man, Kreziu, goes inside, then tries to go out. Megwa sticks with him. Cross comes in from deep to the back post, and it was missed by everyone. Takes one bounce and goes behind for a Hibs goal kick. They still lead 2-1 on aggregate.
Yeah, just need to see it out the last couple of minutes here, Hibs. You expected there would be a bit of pressure coming into the box, but again, defended well from Hibs. I think it's Jamie McGrath that time just following the run-up.
90 seconds left for Hibernian. And it's nervous times for the 300 fans who have made the journey across, and those of you listening at home. It's a free kick given away rather cheaply by Hibs in the aerial duel, and the Shkendija player's rolling about, clutching his face, but I mean, they need to get up and get on with it, really, unless he's seriously hurt. It's a waste of time for him and his teammates. I mean, he's been lifted up by his goalkeeper. I think it's his shoulder, in fairness. Manev, he's maybe fallen really awkwardly on his shoulder. He's been hauled to his feet, and he does look like he's got a stinger on the arm, the shoulder. He's not able to lift it. Hibs with 40 seconds, probably realistically a minute, given that stoppage to see out. It's with the goalkeeper, Ibrahimi. Goes with a pass. Oh, what a challenge that is from Nathan Lowe. As Manev looked to drive forward over halfway. Out for a throw-in just over halfway. Thrown down the right-hand side. Tamba, he's got two on him. He slips again, and it runs out for a Hibs throw-in. And that might be the final act from Shkendija, their final chance. They have asked a couple of questions of Hibs, but if we're being honest, in the vast majority of the time, their quality in the final third has been woeful. But here's a chance, and Zengi, it's taken away from him superbly. And there is the full-time whistle. Hibernian are through to the playoff round of the Conference League. It is a game that will fade from memory in terms of the quality, but Hibs have battled to a priceless draw in the Balkans, in the capital, Skopje of North Macedonia. It was far from their most polished display, but they defended comfortably, and even when Shkendija did open them up, the North Macedonians did not have the requisite quality to punish them. Hibs had chances too. Lowe should have done better with his shot that was straight at the goalkeeper. Elding had another one that was comfortable for the keeper, but Scott Allen, it is all about getting through to the next round, and Hibernian have done just that.
They have, and David Gray will be delighted with the defensive performance from his side tonight off the back of a good win at Ibrox at the weekend. Listen, you take into the account that the weather was really hot tonight, the pitch didn't look the greatest, not maybe conducive to the sort of football you'd maybe want to see, but at this stage of the competition, it's just about getting through to the next round, and they've done that tonight. That goal from Warren Ahora last minute last week proving vital in the end, but defensively I thought they were excellent. Hibs, they limited Shkendija to fairly nothing in the end, and that will be what David Gray takes into the next game, because that's what they play for, especially defenders who are now managers. They pray for the clean sheets. That gives you the foundation to then go and get better in the final third, which, don't get me wrong, the next tie they will have to be a lot better on the ball, and when the chances come their way they have to be more ruthless. But you take this game into account, a hard away game, you look at the record that they had before now, it's a great defensive performance from Hibs.
Thank you very much indeed, Scott Allen, for your company this evening. It finished Shkendija 0, Hibernian 0, 2-1 to Hibs on aggregate. They will go through to the playoff round where they will likely face Ghent of Belgium. Let's cross